Hey guys, today we're going to be doing the name project and I'm going to be demonstrating how to do that since my last video didn't work. But basically this is what it is. You're going to be picking out a name that is meaningful to you. So that can be your first name, it can be your middle name, it can be your last name, or it could even be your nickname if you would like. Okay, but I did my whole name, or my last name I guess, Mrs. Tennis. So basically what you need for this project is 3 different color markers, preferably your 3 favorite colors. If you don't have markers, you can use color pencils. They work just fine, but again, you'll need 3 colors for that. And if you don't even have those and you have crayons, crayons works just fine as well. And I have some examples to show you how they look. So here is what color pencil looks like. So it's just a little bit more duller. It's not as bold, but it still does the job. And we have, this is what crayon looks like. It looks a little bit messier, but it still does the job for the project. Alright, you are going to be needing some sort of black marker, or a black pen will do just fine as well. But to start, you can go ahead and use a pencil to start, so you can draw it out and then just outline it with black if you want afterwards. I'm just going to go ahead and start with black. So the first step is to choose the name, whatever name you're going to use. I'm going to use my last name again, and you're going to make it fill your whole entire blank sheet of paper. So this is just a regular sheet of copy paper. If you have notebook paper, that works just fine as well. So you're going to have it capital the first letter of the name, because, well, we're being proper. And then you're going to space out the letters so that it all fits. Alright, so that is step number 1. You're going to draw out your name throughout the whole entire piece, filling the whole entire width of it. Second step is you're going to rewrite it the same way, but this time just slightly to the left, and you're going to overlap the original name. So watch me first. So I'm just going to go slightly to the left and up, creating some of these different layering effects. And maybe you need to go right on one or the other, but it should go right over the top. And now it should look a little bit three-dimensional, a little wonky looking. Okay, the next and last step for writing out your name is to write it out in cursive. If you don't know how to write in cursive, I posted images of what those cursive names look like, but essentially it's connecting all the letters together. Okay, I would practice this out first before you do so. So if I write out tennis, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so this is what it looks like cursive. Again, it's all connected together. Alright, if you need to pause, kind of like I did a little bit, just to make sure that I'm writing it out correctly, or pausing in between, that's okay. I'm not going to ridicule you on your cursive and how that looks. Alright, but then you're going to go ahead and start to write it out. And it's okay if it overlaps for some of the letters. Totally fine. Okay, so now your final piece should look something like this after you've written out those 3 steps. So again, it looks a little crazy. Your last and final step, now that we've drawn out our name, is going to start to color it in and finding those little spaces and those areas to color in. So I always choose my favorite color first, so I'm going to use yellow first. And you want to make sure that your colors don't touch each other. So if I'm going to do yellow here, I'm not going to do yellow in the space right next to it. I'm going to maybe go up one, and then if I want, I could do another one over there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with all of my letters, kind of planning out where I want my colors to go to make sure that they don't touch any other of the same color. And notice that there are some of those shapes and gaps that kind of end, or they don't have a closing to it. Make sure you color in those gaps too, to make sure it looks nice and colorful. And sometimes your black marker or whatever is going to go totally over. I'll show you in a second once I finish my yellow here. The first step. So sometimes it's going to cover the whole entire thing. You don't really have any shapes to color in there, and that's a-okay. It's still, you can still see that it's the letter E. Alright, so once you've done your first color, go ahead and move on to your second color. And I'm going to move a little bit faster here, just so that you guys can see the finished work. So again, my last color, I didn't want the reds to touch right there. So I'll show you this way. I didn't want my reds to touch right there, so I made sure that my orange was above it so that they wouldn't touch. And again, same here with my E, finding all the little areas so that my colors don't touch. And again, sometimes you might not have many shapes to color in, and that is okay as well. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, and now I'm on my last color, which is red. So I'll show you guys what it looks like with the orange in there. And now you guys are starting to hopefully see the whole entire name. My last name, which is tennis. Yes, it's like the sport. So finding all those little areas, finishing coloring it in. Please make sure you stay in the lines. You should not be scribbling. We are high schoolers. We don't need to scribble anymore. And again, see how my N here, the N really didn't end. There's no like end of the shape, so I just cut it off where the black ended there. Same with my E. And now I'm going to do my S yet. And voila, I am all done. Alright, so this is what it should look like in the end. You should be able to see your name still spelled out and filling in all those little shapes with your favorite colors. Alright, you guys know how to finish it. Take a picture, post it on Schoology. I can't wait to see how yours all turns out. Again, this is what it will look like. Feel free to add some more to it if you want to write your first name, because maybe you did do your last name, or maybe you want to add some flowers to it. But as long as it doesn't distract from the name, I want to make sure that I can see your name nice and clear. Alright, I can't wait to see your names, guys. They're going to look so cool.